my opinion, I believe that's to improve lives.
I think that technology is an enabler to what's already happening.
If you look around, there's so many industries that are being disrupted by tech, and so many startups that are trying to come up with new ideas of how to disrupt these existing industries. So if you're not one of the disruptors, then you'll most likely be the one being disrupted.
The ability to control or to master technology gives you power. It's a stigma with the word power. The way I think about power is the ability to act.
What's the use of a camera or a widget or a thing if it doesn't improve your life? Even if it's, Angry Birds. It's a game, but it's improving your life to some extent, right? You're enjoying it.
I think it's important to realize, 10 years ago, with the taxi industries, there were so many drivers that thought they had a cushy, safe lifestyle. They had the medallion, they could drive for the next 20, 30 years, and then Uber came around and came up with a system that was more efficient, and the incentives were better aligned. And now, if you look around, you don't even see the taxis in the streets anymore.
I think that technology is a double-edged sword, and that it can be used for good or for evil, but at the core, technology and its purpose and the role that I see it playing is improving the lives of others.
If you really understand people's problems intimately, some people that have been through those problems have been able to overcome those challenges. And those people that have overcome those challenges haven't been able to productize that and create that solution at scale for other people that are also dealing with those problems. And so I would say technology allows you to not just understand these problems intimately, but also create the solutions that benefit not just one person, but millions and billions of people.
Is technology a good thing? That would depend on who you ask.
So I think technology, at the end of the day, is a good thing because it allows us to have more time, it allows us to pursue our passions, our interests, and it allows us to connect with other people we wouldn't otherwise have that opportunity to connect with.
It could be good and bad. If you have people that don't understand the problems, that are creating digital cotton pickers, that are hooking us to, that's a word that came from the people that run Yes We Code. They were talking a lot deeply about how problems, the tools that aren't created by us are getting value from us.
So even as our artificial intelligence and machine learning grows, right, it's inheriting the input of the system. It's inheriting the human piece of us, right? So a machine may never be a human, but if we want to say, for example, we're going to create AI recruiting databases, well, it's going to inherit the bias of whatever human created it, right? And if 80% of the engineers at top companies are white males, then the technology that they create, whether it's AI or machine learning, will not benefit directly, black female engineers.
There's 3 billion people online, I think 5 billion smartphones or something like that, and we haven't reached global connectivity. But if everybody has supercomputers in their pockets, and you have a supercomputer that has the ability to call a car, educate, provide food, provide shelter to you, that's a time period that has never existed before in history. So the opportunity for people that have been through these problems to create solutions for those problems is great. But the problem is the people that are creating these solutions to problems have never been through the problems that are necessary for the 99%. So we need more people from 99% to understand the problems and create for us.
If you're working on things that are helping society, then technology can definitely amplify your ability to empower those people. But if you're using technology to spam people or to create mistrust or misinformation, then unfortunately that could also be very effective and could bring communities apart.
Right, so I think technology is amazing and can be used for great things, but we also got to think about who's building that technology. What communities are we building it for? And how are we thinking about that sustainably?
I think people look at technology like a savior. Very similar, like people look at money as like that's the end goal. But I think that technology, just like money, are a means, it's not the end.
Alright, so what people misunderstand about technology is that it won't make you more productive. It won't help you find the love of your life. It won't help you lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks. And it won't help make you richer quicker, right? It won't, right? Technology is a platform, and there are tools that can help you achieve those things. But I feel like the 21st century has bamboozled people into thinking, again, 6-minute ads this, and find your lover this, swipe right, swipe left, right? I think that some people, our society gets caught up into thinking that technology solves the problems, when in fact, for example, if you take weight loss, discipline, focus, consistency, like that is what solves it. Now, tracking your progress with Evernote or productivity app is great, but I think what people misunderstand the most about technology is that it's not going to get you the result. It might help you get there, but it does not guarantee a result, i.e., finding your lover on, Tinder or something of that nature.
So I think what people misunderstand about technology is that you have to actually know how to code, or you have to be an engineer to be part of this ecosystem, or to have these disrupting ideas. And having been in tech for several years now, I see so many people from various backgrounds, technical, not technical, coming up with these amazing these like earth-shaking ideas, and then they just put together a team that has the technical expertise. So if you're out there and you don't have a technical background, don't count yourself out. I think if anything, you could use that to your advantage, because you have that intimate experience, intimate understanding of the problem, and all you need to do now is find someone who believes in your idea and your approach, and someone who could actually help you execute and build it.
You all have been able to do things with Organize to show that it's possible to use technology to address things that aren't nice to have but need to have. And I think that when you think a lot about technology, people think that it's just superficial, but there is ways to create things that are solving people's problems.
I think activists can use technology to change the world by actually, using it to connect with another human being.
If you're an activist, or if you're trying to advocate for a certain cause, I think social media is probably one of the best ways to reach either your target audience or people who you think could be a potential target audience that just don't know yet.
If you have somebody that's down for you and they're committed to your movement, they can probably identify 5 other people that are down for your movement. And those 5 people will probably identify other 5 other people, and that's what people in tech call going viral.
Even if it's just one by one, that's how you build community. One person at a time, reaching out and leading with generosity and being a servant leader and saying, how can I help you?
Activists have been organizing viral movements for years. Like you can see that with what Malcolm X was doing, what Dr. Martin Luther King was doing without social media. And imagine if all those people had social media today to call hundreds of thousands of people.
Nowadays, a lot of folks just kind of take a passive approach to social media. They'll focus on the content side, which is creating videos, articles. But unfortunately, just because you have an article on your website doesn't guarantee that it's going to get seen. So I think spending time learning about the distribution system and learning how you can reach those folks and deliver your message to them is equally important, if not more important.
So I think the way that activists can, really leverage technology is to make a connection, right? To build community. So I think the lowest hanging fruit that you can do is that you can go online, LinkedIn for example, and see people in your niche that are writing stuff on Medium or writing things and publishing content like this content that we're publishing now, and comment on it and say, hey, I thought that was great. Here's what I think about it. Did you think about this? let me know if there's any way I can support you.